From WVLT, this is Local 8 News.
A Knox County toddler is safe. Her dad is arrested, likely to face murder charges. We talked to the man who spotted them in Ohio.
And if you thought the Vols had a tough schedule this year, just wait until you see what's on tap for 2016.
Brooklyn Enix, 2 years old, is safe tonight. Her dad, Tyler, is behind bars. He'll soon return to Tennessee to face murder charges for the death of his ex-wife, Kimberly. Good evening. Glad you're here. I'm Ted Hall.
And I'm Amanda Hara. Officers caught up with Tyler in Brooklyn in Morrow County, Ohio. And it's all thanks to a man who heard the Amber Alert on the radio, looked up, and noticed the pair were in the car right in front of him. We just got off the phone with Stephen Adams, who says God put him in the right place at the right time. He followed that car to a gas station, saw the Tennessee plates, and quickly called 911. But it wasn't just the car description that tipped him off.
And she turned and looked at me between the two headrests and waved. And it was kind of like, I don't know, it was like she knew I was there to help her or something. I don't know. That's the way I see it anyways.
So how did the arrest unfold and what condition was Brooklyn in? Stephen Adams describes more of what he saw tonight at 11. Our team coverage of this developing story continues now. First with Local 8 News reporter Kelsey Lair. She's at the scene of Kimberly's murder. Kelsey, what's next in this investigation for police?
Well, Amanda, it's nearly 300, actually over 300 miles to where Tyler and Brooklyn Enix were found earlier this morning. But just because Tyler is in custody now doesn't mean this investigation is over. It could be several weeks before Enix is extradited back to Tennessee. Right now, he's being held as a fugitive from justice. KPD says they can't officially charge him with murder until he's back in the state. They've sent a couple investigators up there to conduct some interviews with him, while other officers have stayed at the Fountain City crime scene searching the area, some of them using metal detectors, but they wouldn't say what for.
Yeah, we really don't know if there's anything over there, but we're going to take every step, every precaution, just to make sure that there's nothing there that he could have thrown or been dropped over the fence or something like that.
The Chevy Impala Enix was driving is being held at the Morrow County Sheriff's Department. KPD is working to obtain a search warrant for that car. Brooklyn was taken to the hospital for observational purposes, but she was appearing to be okay at the time. She's currently in custody of the DCS. Reporting live in Fountain City, Kelsey Lair, Local 8 News.
Brooklyn's family is relieved to hear that she is safe, and they're happy the man accused of killing her mother, Kimberly, has been captured. Local 8 News anchor Lauren Davis sat down with Kimberly's nephew today.
A good person. She was loving, caring. If you needed her, she was there.
That's how Ryan Young will always remember his Aunt Kimberly. He found out about her murder on Facebook and went to his grandmother's to find out it was true.
Still ain't really hit me yet, I guess, until I really see her.
Ryan says detectives told him Tyler Enix broke into Kimberly's apartment, stabbed her repeatedly, then kidnapped 2-year-old Brooklyn.
He shouldn't have done nothing like this. She didn't deserve it. She was good to him. For him to do something like this is just it's not right for nobody. And now them 3 little girls are going to have to grow up for the rest of their life without a mom.
He hopes Enix spends the rest of his life behind bars and was happy when he heard Enix was captured in Ohio.
I prayed, and I couldn't quit smiling when they caught him, because that little girl is okay. She's safe, and I'm glad she is. And after work, I'm going right over there, and I'm just going to hug her.
And see that smile that reminds him so much of his Aunt Kimberly. In Knox County, Lauren Davis, Local 8 News.
Multiple family members told Lauren that they would be willing to adopt Brooklyn. It's not yet known what's going to happen to the young girl. Kimberly's family says they didn't know that the couple had split up, and Young told Lauren he thought Kimberly had a restraining order against Tyler Enix. KPD says they have no record of one of those.
Was she helping or was she hurting? Depends, I guess, on who you ask. Officials seized 50 animals from her home. Local 8 News reporter Stephen Powell caught up with a Union County woman now charged with animal abuse.
This is video from inside Penny Merritt's home, taken by investigators during a search earlier this month. But depending on who you ask, it shows 2 different things.
I just love animals. I love these animals, and I feel it's been very unfair.
Merritt tells me she's been rescuing animals since she was 18.
I take care of my animals. I feed them. They were all healthy and fat.
Earlier this month, they seized 38 dogs, 11 cats, and a rabbit from her home, taking them to the shelter. An investigator testified Thursday he found the animals, quote, held in a cruel manner at the house. And a judge ruled there's enough evidence to send the case to a grand jury.
I'm very upset, but I'm not going to give up on my animals. And I'm afraid that right now, for the last month, they're being kept in crates, and they're not used to being kept in crates.
Meanwhile, the shelter's charging her $10 per animal per day to care for them while the trial continues.
We got a female there?
$7,000 so far. She feels she's being treated unfairly.
All that will come out. The truth's going to come out about all that. I don't keep all the animals. That would be what would be considered a hoarder. But I have found homes for many, many dogs and cats throughout my life.
In Union County, Stephen Powell, Local 8 News.
Even if Merritt is found not guilty, she's still going to have to pay the shelter or risk losing her animals. Her attorneys say that's not fair, and a hearing is going to be held next week to talk about the issue.
First into Local 8 News for you this evening. If you thought the 2015 football season is very tough, the Vols have one of the toughest schedules in the whole country so far. Wait till you get a load of UT's 2016 schedule. We're going to get that schedule officially released by UT in 25 minutes or so, but Sports Director Rick Russo joins us with some insight. The Vols have some brutal stretches this coming season, my friend.
They do, Ted. And as you know, there are still 5 big games remaining in this 2015 Tennessee football season. But yes, at the bottom of the hour, 6:30, the Vols will release their entire 2016 schedule. And your All Vols station has a sneak peek into that. As you already know, the Vols will open September 3rd next year with Appalachian State. Then it's the battle at Bristol, September 10th against Virginia Tech. Then comes something really interesting. Tennessee will play a stretch of 4 SEC games in consecutive weeks against Florida, Georgia, Texas A&M, and Alabama. The Gators and the Tide come into Knoxville. The game at A&M will be the farthest ever conference road game for the Big Orange at about 950 miles. How about that? The Vols, by the way, their bye week will come after Alabama on October the 22nd. We'll have much more on Tennessee's 2016 football schedule shortly online at local8now.com, Ted.
Boy, there had to be some moaning when they saw that 4-game stretch with no bye in between. Rick's going to be back a little later. Talk Vols and Cats, the big game coming up. Also, preview our rivalry Thursday game. It's number 1 against number 2 in the state, CAK and Alcoa.
Creepy, crawly, icky, and delicious. That's what some UT students are trying to prove with their annual Buggy Buffet. And of course, brave Brittany Nada volunteered to try a few samples. Brittany, we are so proud of you. Everything is staying down. Congratulations.
Thanks. Volunteer may be a little bit of a stretch, though. But if you know anything about me, you know that I'm never going to pass up a meal unless it without dessert. So this spread actually looks pretty good here. We've got some chocolate chirp cookies, some granola, let's give this stuff a try. Okay, so I'm going for the chocolate first. So this one looks pretty good. Who's eating chocolate with me?
I am.
All right, well, of course, it looked appetizing until you can see the little antennas. All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Not too bad. I want to see the Jell-O, though. Who's eating the Jell-O?
Amy, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. Oh, this is crunchy. Oh, it kind of tastes like chocolate-covered peanuts. Okay, now I'm going with the peanut, or the cookies. These got little critters in them. There you are. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, this stuff's pretty good. And I'm reading here that insects are low in cholesterol and fat, so it may be a good substitute if you're thinking about, going on a little diet here. But I'm bringing these back here for Amanda and Ted. This is going to be your dessert, and all this stuff is coming back with me. So thank you all for having me out here. It's been quite a buggy buffet out here on UT's campus.
Lauren wants to know if you're full. Are you full?
Not yet.
You're
Not
getting
yet. They're
every
little.
last bite out of that,
Yeah,
aren't you?
you
It must
really
be
are.
actually pretty good bugs.
Yeah, this is the good stuff too. This celery with pimento cheese and crickets. That's the good stuff.
She is so polite chewing with her mouth open, though. Like she's
Nice,
she
Brittany.
does it very politely.
Nice.
Last year, 2 sisters met for the first time after being separated at birth. Now that reunion could save one of their lives.
I've never had surgery at all, so I'm nervous.
Up next, find out how a diagnosis for one sister gave the other a chance to make an important choice.
And with a high of 70 degrees today, it's going to get a little chilly by tomorrow morning, but will that be the prevailing trend? Details coming up after the break.
Later in sports, the Vols with a daunting schedule next year, as you've found out just a couple of minutes ago. Now we got to focus on Kentucky. We're going to check in on the game plan.